welcome. Today I have a very exciting curriculum to show you, the Generations Homeschool Curriculum. This is one of the best Christian homeschool programs I've seen. It is very, very gospel-centered. It is written, or the program is made by Kevin Swanson. Now, Kevin Swanson runs Generations Radio. And this is a program that's been going for years, maybe decades. And Kevin Swanson is himself, he was homeschooled and he's a homeschool dad. I think he's got 4 children. So he's made a great program, very, very Bible-based. Let me show it to you. So I was very excited to get this box in the mail, and it came with a number of reading books and also textbooks as well, and workbooks, as you can see. So let's go through them one by one. By the way, I will be showing you the grade 3 curriculum, and that is because my little boy, he's really amazing with his language arts, and so he's up to quite a high level with that. So I thought, if I get that, he'll be able to understand that and we can go through the curriculum. So this will be the grade 3 curriculum we're looking at today. As I mentioned, with the Generations curriculum, you get lots of books, and they tend to be missionary books or books about Christians who withstood trials, and it's their story. So David Brainerd, he was an amazing missionary, probably not talked about as much as he should be. And so I was really excited to see that in this particular curriculum. So if you get curriculum for different ages, you'll get missionary stories as well for different ages. So that's fantastic. And then here you have Elizabeth Elliot. Elizabeth Elliot, for context's sake, she was the wife of a man who went over to evangelize to a tribe. I'm not sure, I think it was in South America, and he got killed, basically, him and 4 other missionaries. And then Elizabeth Elliot later on went back to the same tribe and shared the gospel with them, and a lot of them became Christians. So she has an amazing story. So this is a book that she has written. The next one is called The Princess Bal, and this is about a German princess. So this was around the 8th century, so quite many years ago. And she's a bit like an Esther figure. She marries essentially a barbarian man, and then the deal is that they Christianize the country, but her mother-in-law isn't a fan, so she's got to stand up for her faith. You'll notice these books have that common theme, that is encouraging our young people to stand up for their faith, because you don't see that a lot these days. But the Generations curriculum is all about that. Although we're going through hard times, although people will persecute us for our faith, we will stand up no matter what. And these books are inspirational in that way. This one here is about a little boy who doesn't know his parents, and he's trying to see if he can find his parents, but along the way, he becomes a Christian, and it's all about his newfound faith and telling others about his faith. So it's a very evangelical book, and again, it will support your children and their journey with Christ. And again, it's that really gospel-centered approach. All right, and then there is history and reading. So let's go through the reading first. With reading, you get the big reading book, which is God's Big Story, and this one is basically the Bible retold. And this one here is answering questions and doing activities. It's a little bit hands-on too, which I like, but let me go through them. It goes through from creation, sin and promise, all the way through so many lessons you can see. So I think there's 71. John writes the end, so that would be Revelation. And if I flick through, you can see just how colourful this is. So it just starts with faith lessons. God is sovereign. Isaac prayed for God's blessing to his sons. God calls sinful people to be his children. Talks about the vocabulary, and then it gives you the story. And then it does that for each chapter. Then you would go over to the student reading workbook to answer questions from the God's Big Story one that you've just done. And you can see what it's like there. It's quite colourful, which I like, and I think children like it. Just makes it, but there's a lot of fill in the blank at this 3rd grade level. Optional, study the scripture, copy the verses on the lines below, so handwriting practice, learning new words, and they've got optional reviews here. I should also mention that these books come with suggested daily schedules. So they say it's not necessary to follow the daily schedule, but it may help you not miss things and sort of have a bit of a regular routine, which can be really helpful. Like a really strict routine is not good, but having something loose can be helpful for a lot of people. I just personally sit my kid down with a book and I just go, every day or two, we're going to do a lesson of this book. And that's how we roll. And eventually we get through it. We usually get through it quicker than normal. And I can cross out things if I'm like, well, he already knows this. So this is a very open and go homeschool curriculum, by the way. And if you look at my open and go homeschool video, you'll find Generations is included in that. So that's the workbook, the reading workbook. Let me now show you the history. So this is level 3 history. You can see there's the workbook there, which looks a lot like the textbook here. So let me show you the textbook first. Again, you can probably notice how beautiful and colorful it is. The colors are just gorgeous, aren't they? And so this is a very evangelical book. You can see it's called Taking the Americas for Jesus. So very missionary, big missionary focus. So major countries in North America, population. They teach you a little bit of geography in here too, which is great. But it's, yeah, I guess it's a very outward focus on teaching children to love those around them and share the gospel with them, because that's our mission on earth. And so this curriculum really takes that call seriously and is like, well, if you really call yourself a Christian, you really do want to follow Jesus' call to spread the gospel with those around you, then let's teach you how to do that. And that's what their curriculum does a really good job of doing. And this is taking, the South Americas for Jesus. But you can see how beautiful this is. This reminds me a little bit of the Knotgrass history curriculum. It does a really good job of being super colorful and very gospel, biblical worldview. Prayer points, which I love, I don't see that often in a curriculum, is prayer points that you should be talking about. And it just really gets children to think about praying for other countries too. So it's not that really self-centered, dear God, get me a Barbie doll for Christmas sort of stuff. Now I just have in this packet the reading and the history, as well as a few of those missionary books, but you can also get science and a reading supplement. Generations is also working on creating a math component for the curriculum, which should be up. Now, how much is this? This is super, super cheap. Look at this 3rd grade curriculum, $149 for it being sent to your place. I think you have to pay shipping on top of that, but if you're in America, it's not that expensive. If you're in Australia, oh my goodness, the shipping, I think, for that box that you saw was about $130 to Australia. So it is pretty expensive shipping it outside of the US, but if you're in the US, then this is a great program. So as far as shipped material goes, this is a really cheap price. I've left a link for this curriculum down below. If you want to support this channel and you love the sound of this curriculum, please buy through my link. That way I earn a little bit of money. It doesn't cost you anything extra at all. And yeah, it just goes to support this channel and my homeschool, me being able to work from home, which is something I really love. If you've had a look at this curriculum though, and you're thinking, it's not really for me, there are other gospel-centered homeschool curriculum programs out there. And I've made a great video of all of those options here.